Okay, hopefully that works. Hopefully it did another stream, not the same stream. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna have to load the game, but let me, actually I'll just do it from my phone. So, yeah. So we are definitely not World Discovery right now. Which I hope it's clean, but if it is, if it isn't, it shouldn't be a matter of if it's clean or not. To have music then, yeah, no. So copyright thing. So it's gonna take some time, so let me advertise this stream probably just once. And I'll just go Shy Guys. There we go. Okay, so that should fix us up. It'll be a few till we get to the park. There's like so many settings I gotta do with YouTube. It's like ugh. But World Discovery is seeing giant changes in regards to this thing called Project Star. Project Star is similar to what they're doing at Disneyland, how they're doing a lot of love to the parks. This is World of Discovery's response to that. It's like, well, we want to change the scope of the park. So the entrance area is looking different. It's going to be the start. And I did some work, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago, under Spaceship Earth, which that took a bit to do. It's a lot of path work, like redoing the paths and stuff. I haven't really done landscaping in the front, so now you can see the back of the park from the front. So it's not going to be like the best, but it's definitely going to look different compared to what it did. It's like every year I change the entrance somehow. Every year. Like I think I changed it last year whenever I got all the stuff, so I was like, okay, I gotta shift things. So I had to shift everything forward so that the interventions buttons could fit. Now it's like, okay, now I have this entrance is very wide in the front. What do? It's like, okay, how do I respond to all this? So I'm trying to kind of tighten up the entrance a little bit, but keep it to where it's a little bit natural feeling, as opposed to just giant white path. So I'm using the weird tan color that's been used in like a lot of my parks. So the color will be familiar. The entrance looks different. It's pretty neat. I like it. It's definitely going to be an improvement. And I know pre-activate has not moved at all. Oh, speak of the devil. But the scope of the park is going to change. instead of going around the world, I want to do stories. Instead of, going to Egypt, then going to America, then going to Africa. It's like, no. Because that was it was hard. It was honestly very hard. Because it was like, alright, what countries should I do next? What countries have good stories to make into rides? It was very difficult. So now it's like, okay, what stories can I do? So it's going to be a bunch of different themes. Now for the front of the park, it's still kind of a weird thing. So I call it like Discover Expo. That way it's like, hey, let's look at the technologies in regards to the seas. Let's look at technologies in regards to the weather, space travel, and then the earth. The land and sky. So it's definitely a different story. And there goes my laptop. I sound like a jet. But the front of the park needs to see some love before you can move back. So whenever I finish the front, which I hope is probably this month, then the back will see some love. Either that, or I'll start in one of the regions, either go right or left. I'll probably go left because that region never sees anything. But I'm trying to transition my building style from the classic, here's a bunch of curves into, okay, here's some curves, but they're large curves to make the paths wider. And there's 3 watching, wow. And it's just me rambling on about what I want to do. So I want to add more attractions, maybe more facilities, of course. I know I got rid of the Captain EO paths that were there since 2016. I actually finally got rid of them. They were in the first aid and restrooms building. That's at the front of the park. So now those are gone, and as a tribute, I made the color of the path in the front very similar. So it's kind of bringing back old style with a mix of new style. 2 watching. Once the park pops up, it'll probably surge in popularity. Let me look at Shy Guy's World real quick. Shy Guy. Watch him say, why are you doing streams? Sorry, that was my dog. And I got quiet because I have to read something important. Sorry, I got quiet. I was reading something about a project I'm doing. For my classes, or was doing. Okay. My apologies for silence again. Again, I was still checking because I was getting I got an email about something. Again, pre-activates. Probably going to take a little bit. But this park is going to change its scope. It's turning 3 this year, so it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta change it. It was an Epcot clone. The original park you'll probably find in, actually you will find in Shy Guys World. Go to page 1 and you can read all about it. It is exactly an Epcot clone. It was. It had soaring. It had energy. It's like, oh my gosh. What was I doing? There's like no original concepts. And I didn't even have the scenery to do the park. I think I only had like stuff from Captain EO, and the spaceship Earth from Imagineer Michael was the one I was using back then. It was great. It really was. Do I miss it? Sometimes. Sometimes I miss it. I still use it from time to time if I want to just do something random. I check on it because it's a very simple build. The one I use is Sticky Gum and Wolf Paw is his name now. It was Ernie G back in the day. And that one's very detailed. It really is. I think the difference is the size, is definitely the size and detail. The Imagineer Michael one is, I guess, updated, quote unquote, because the back is all white, whereas the Wolf Paw one and Sticky Gum is kind of the old style backing. So the cylindrical pieces are brown, which matches the pads in the front of the park. Sorry, I'm stuttering. I think doing all this housework is bringing up the dust, so it's like, you know. Also, it's Florida, so it's hot here. Hurry up, activate objects. But the entrance definitely looks a lot different than what it did. Again, I say go Shy Guys World and you will see the major change once it pops up. If you are someone who has a eagle eye or whatever kind of eye, and you saw the thumbnail whenever I was trying to load this, it looks different. What was I thinking about doing? I was going to refresh. Gotta refresh this thing like every 5 seconds for my stream because I always lose. I either lose or gain people. It's like, I did consider going to Twitch, but someone took my just basic username, so I wasn't gonna put my whole name. I was probably I'm thinking about doing something in relation to Imagineering, so who knows. If I go to Twitch, I'll probably stream from like 1,000 places at once. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh, must be something. More stuff about that project for school, which I can disclose that now, but I'm not going to because, again, who knows. Yeah, I gotta do that too. Oh, there's two of them. So I might be getting famous, who knows? What did this person say? Oh, it's the same email. See, I can't do this. It has to be Wednesday. Okay. Again, sorry I'm getting quiet. This project's getting headlines. Well, it's a school project that's become bigger. And we're about to go to a big project for Roller Coaster Tycoon. Ooh. So that'd be next week. Holy cow. Okay, I guess I'll have to do that next week. Guess I can do that in the morning. One sec. Do this again. Display. Okay, there we go. That should be good. Alright, so as you can already see, the changes are there. Hopefully. Okay, there's 5 watching. Like I said, park comes on, everybody's watching. Okay, so U5. Which I better do my cheats. I know it's gonna be laggy because it's full of people. Because it's laggy on my laptop. Well, we gotta see if the see if the park's on. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so as you can see, like I was saying, the changes are happening. The red path, that is the cue for Spaceship Earth. That is just a placeholder. Do not think I'm doing a bright red path. It would look terrible. Probably be like blue or something. Who knows? But As you can see, the white is starting to be tanned. Let's say it's getting a tan. There's new fencing. This area is like all done. So there's the benches got colored. There's more benches and trash cans. And then there's gonna be a gift shop right here. I didn't put walls because I don't know. There's gonna be a gift shop right as soon as you get out the monorail. So the monorail, that still needs some pads and rails, and then I can start landscaping over here. But you can literally see where the old path was and where the new path is. And it's gonna rain in this park, just so you know, it's gonna rain. And like I said, the old paths are gone from 2016, so they're all the office paths. The old path was so twisty. The new path is twisty, but it had like this weird wave, like you see in the park over here. There's a bunch of waves. I was like, there's still waves. It's just bigger, and if you get bigger waves, that means there's less. I mean, you can even see it back here, which this is just a mess, so. I even started back here too. I did work back here as well. Put gray underneath Spaceship Earth. That way I'm probably going to keep the white back here because it blends well with the gray. So there's going to be white paths, so this will probably remain. Only thing that might change is this will change, this railing, and probably some more gardens. So like these little ones, they're kind of bad. So those will see some work. The breezeways, they probably won't see change because I don't know, they're all right. Hey, look, umbrellas. I mean, if you thought this park was bad, go to the real Epcot, because it's about to become this park. Actually, it's about to become pre-2018 summer, this park. So the goal is to get a lot of the work done this month. If possible, it's probably going to be next month. Well, more than likely it'll be next month. The hotel, and it's not the state I want to be in, but just like the entrance, it'll probably see some makeover work. The umbrellas based on the covers of the carousels. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, from afar, the park looks great. From far away, it's like, wow. Oh no, it's not the angle I wanted. Thanks to magnifier. Thinks I'm gonna turn it. I don't like this. Here we go. See, from far away, everything looks normal. There is open space, there is. And I turned off the music because of copyrights, but there are a lot of speakers in the park and they do play copyrighted music. I've learned this many times. Yeah, this area has a lot of open space. Probably because I don't have the fountain. The fountain's at the hotel, so it's like, So I might add a planter, maybe like a suit between these two poles or something. Who knows? But this area may not see work until once everything gets done up front. Then this area is just bad. And then this area is kind of, it's kind of meh. It's meh. It's funny. I don't think I would play that in this part. Notice I got 3,800 guests. And I think I'm doing an ad. I don't know. Let me look. No, there's no advertisements. So, I think what I'm going to do... what do I want to work on? Do I want to work on the front? Do I want to work on your spatial berth? I think what I will do is work over here and get up to those ticket booths and improve everything. So I always try to make sure if I have a curve, I delete some path to prepare for it. How would you work on spatial berth? Just the paths near it. And the exterior landscaping would be a major thing. So let's get started on this. What is gone is going to be the mulch. The mulch is probably the one thing I regret putting in my parks because it's kind of pointless. It's neat, but everywhere it's kind of pointless, and these bushes is just awful. Now I just use them for decoration. Now I use bigger things to hide my stuff. So I'll probably be redoing Pandora, which I was supposed to open in last month. I was like, oh man. I started doing all these refurbs. I was like, that's not a good quality Pandora. So that'll probably be pushed back to either, I'm gonna guesstimate December. That's true, I did. On Main Street. I mean, it sucked because I had them all the way till that gift shop. All the way. It was like 3 or 4 hours of just taking them out. And they're pretty bad over here too. They're bad back here. I know they're extremely awful back here. That's gonna be a pain. So now I'm using like the big bushes I used in Legendary. It's like those will save time. I mean, these served their purpose. It was like a good starter, but now it's like, oh my gosh, what was I doing? I still got 5 watching. Wow. Yeah, if you're new here, just comment down and I can explain this part, like what's in it. Because I know it's like, it looks like Epcot, but it's not. It is, but it isn't. It actually has its own custom signage and everything. Alright, we're about to spin. Are you using the Imagine? No. I am actually not. I'm using something someone sent me. If you've been a Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 player for a while, you will know that there's a old Epcot project that never, I guess it was, I'm not going to say finished, but I'm going to say the pieces were. Like the scenery and everything was finished, but they didn't get to a point where it was released publicly. And I've been like following them for God knows how long. And I think they recently rejoined Shy Guys World like last year or 2017-ish. And I was like, hey, I'm working on this park. What do you think about this? And it was like, okay, I'll watch and everything. And so now all that scenery has found a home. Have I used all of it? No, I have not. Which I do not want that many curves. We'll just do a giant curve. So the answer to that is no, this is not Imagineer Tom. Michael's. I said Imagineer Tom. I mean, it's a good spatial bird. Imagineer Michael's spatial bird is actually, I used his first version. Like I was like, hey, would you mind sending this over? Because I wanted a spaceship Earth where the triangles were actual shapes, not just a printed on image. So he sent me his first version, which was just a work in progress. He was like, here, just have this. And then whenever he finished his set, I put it in with the new version so that it fit a little bit better. And then I got this one and I was like, like the details are there, so I think I want details. The Imagineer Michael one is great, though. I will say that. It is great for a starter for your park. So, would I use again? Absolutely. And I think, yeah, he did send that as I was a tester for it. I think I was the tester for it. It was like, oh, okay. And I think I got Imagination. I think I had it for a while. I'm trying to think. I know I had it in 2016. This whole pavilion, which is a mess right now. And I actually learned from this set. I actually learned there's bathrooms over here, so I put bathrooms over here. Those are the quietest bathrooms on Disney property, I will say. Is that the old path? No. Let's see, what else? I got a lot of exclusive stuff in this park. Wait, those exist? Yeah, they do. There's bathrooms on the side, and they're rarely used. And I think they play the classic Imagination music in there, so it's even better. Like, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 trips ago that the bathrooms near Innovations were being cleaned or something. So I was like, forget this, I'm going to the Imagination ones. Like, I like Epcot. If you can't tell from this park, I like Epcot. It is a park that I feel needs an upgrade, and they're going to take the steps to love it. When did you start World? Was it September or October 2016? I actually had a park called World Discovery. It was like Islands of Adventure meets SeaWorld parks. But I also had other ones that were like Epcot, same name. So, essentially, a lot of the concepts started years before this. Like, if I pulled up my old laptop or booted it up, I could probably find a World of Discovery somewhere. Which I would love to like show off my really old projects. 'Cause some of them were just, they were just bad. I guess I should have went from this. But this is like my oldest project. Well, currently. When you should remake one of your really old parts. I could honestly remake a studio park. It's just a pain, but considering I got Twister now, it's very tempting. But then everybody be like, well, that's basically Hollywood Studios. It's like, yeah, it was. I even have the old Chinese theater I made still in my structures. It's crazy. It's just crazy to think where you start and where you go. It's like, whoa. Okay. I might just do a straight right here. Do a straight and a diag. The old Disney parks I made, oh my gosh, they were insane. Like, they really were. Like, my Disney parks, let me show you how it would work. So you would have literally a giant lake. Then you'd have the Disneyland park and then some form of Disney Studio or California Adventure. And then way over here, you'd have like Disney Springs or Downtown Disney, whatever it is. So you would have kind of crazy. My first park was straight one path besides just Planetarium. Dog's telling me what time it is. It's like, I don't want to do it right now. So I'll do it probably in like 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I even built a hotel like right before the lake. It was crazy. Like, some of my projects were insane. I still question what I was doing whenever I was like, I think I was about 8 or 9. Actually, that's better. That's a better curve. It goes out. Oh, it was bad. It was a bad park because the Disneyland park was very tiny because it was all the way in the back of a normal sandbox. And then you had your California Adventure, which took up like half the left side. And I built a Disneyland hotel whenever those sets came out, the Disney Paris ones. And then I built my own towers out of the Office set. It was so basic. It was funny. And I think I changed castles in that one too. Where are my animals going insane? I don't feel like doing that job right now. 5 o'clock is like, the time that dogs need to consume food. Makes me want to see it going. I know at my grandmother's house, my mom had a red laptop. Upstairs, there's a giant room, and on a desk is that laptop. So someone needed a set. I was like, I know it's on this laptop because I had to use it for a park. I booted it up, looked at what old parks were on there. You want to talk about nostalgia? That was Nostalgia Central. I know I'm like redoing this thing like 12 times, but I need it to like flow just right. Make sure my dog don't go crazy. Oh, sorry. Hong Kong Disneyland in a nutshell, yeah. It's essentially how it was. Like, my old parks were crazy. I'm debating on like getting rid of these and just going straight into the park. What'd I do for studios? I know at my Thriller, well, it was inspired by Thriller Studios on YouTube. It's like some guy who's made like different parks very inspired by Disney Paris. And I made a Studios park. It was so random. Like, there's a Wild West section in the middle. So then I like got rid of it and made a Buena Vista Street section, which that was pretty good compared to what I was doing when I was like 9. Yeah, it was a lot better. Yep. That is essentially what I did for everything when I was younger. I know whenever, I think I was playing 2006. It was right after a trip to Wilderness Lodge. Every time I make a Wilderness Lodge, it would be the in-game brick set in just the giant terrain box. And I'd just put the walls around it and be like, oh, this is Wilderness Lodge. It's like, no. So I totally get it. And Test Track would be a circular, big blob, and you just had the cars like shoot out and go around. I feel like that was everybody's Test Track back in the day. What else was bad? Oh, everybody used like the spook. Well, I used like the spooky sets and said, oh, this was a Cinderella Castle. And then like my dad would tell people, oh, he designs theme parks. Oh, what are you working on? Cinderella Castle. It's like, no, that's not it. Then that set came out and the world changed. You know what's weird is like there's still not a Disneyland California / Hong Kong version of Sleeping Beauty Castle. Like there is the custom scenery ones, but I'm talking like the full scale, like the Cinderella Castle we have is pretty good because, you know, I have a drag and drop one, but we don't have that for Sleeping Beauty. It's not as detailed. Like the only way to get it detailed is to build with a Cinderella Castle set, and it's still like bad.
I'm still waiting on Matt Collins to release the Chinese Theater and Rock and Roller Coaster. I'm still waiting for that. And even in his Hollywood studio set, he's missing stuff. So it's like, you know, dude, your set's missing pieces that say are in the set. Then he got quiet. It's like, okay. I went like that. Okay. Trying to see what I did. Mix Masters. I still can't do those. I think I've tried like a few times and it's always like meh. I remember playing the demo for the game and making like a weird log flume and then putting like the log benches everywhere and saying that was Splash Mountain. See, already my entrance is already weird. Yeah, that's pretty much how everybody did it for, God, I don't know, it was like 6 years. I remember Tower of Terror used to be the launch free fall towers and just a T building. Well, they were for me. I just made a giant building that was in the shape of a T. I was like, oh, it's like Teen Titans. But it was Tower of Terror. Image panels. I even put a door in the middle of one. I thought my dog was peeing on the floor. I was like, I just cleaned that. Okay, I think I can make it. What else? The Matterhorn was just a giant terrain mountain. I feel like that's still how it is, though. For a lot of us, it's still like that. Yeah, it was a base game door. I was not using any scenery. And yes, that was part of like my old Disney park. My old parks are bad, but they were funny. It was like, who would have thought this? I mean, some of the base game stuff is good, but a lot of it is just, ugh. I hope they won't potty in my house. And I got 2 dogs in there. Any other great moments from the pre-CO so weird? Back in my day. What else did I do? I remember when CSO was starting to come out and everybody would get like the same stuff, so you'd see a billion of one thing happening. Did I extend it pass? Yeah, so I did about one block pass. We'll go like this then. There's a lot of good moments. There really is. I remember learning how to play Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Soap and it took like a whole night to learn how to make a slide. So I was like, oh, peeps can just walk around like a normal water park. Then I learned you had to make a pool area, and that's basically your water park. I'm like, what? Like, I think I was lost from then. It was a good addition, but now it's like, why? It's like, wow. It's only 12 minutes past 8. Wait. Yeah, which I wonder, why did they use Titanic slide, like a Titanic boat for a slide? Like, I still have that question, like, whose idea was that? Oh, out of all the things, let's make the ship look exactly like the Titanic. I do have a pool in this game, but it's not like anything good. It's literally a pool. This dog gonna drive me nuts. This dog's like scratching and everything, making it sound like he's going to the bathroom. 16-year-old thinking he can trick me. So let's see, we'll go like this. Just do a big rectangle. From Wild, I love making Animal Kingdom, and I think everybody used the Nocturnal Tree as Tree of Life. And then for the land, I used the reptilian house, or the reptile house. Even in my Epcot-based parks, I used. But Animal Kingdom was just weird. Oh my gosh. I feel like everybody did. Well, gaze upon this entrance because it's almost path. Well, the borders are done. I just need probably a planner or two. And then I gotta do the entrance. Well, paths near the actual entrance. Oh, I still use Cheshire Cats for Atlas. Because we don't have anything. I think there is a CTR, but I don't think it's accessible. Or accessible. Should have seen that with an extra A. I think I'll just paint the rest of the sidewalk. Everyone used the one thing for Haunted Mansion. Then everybody used the rockets for Space Mountain. The ones with like the rocket boosters in the back, everybody used those because it was almost exactly like it. Then even in this park, I was using the in-game boats until someone found like the friendship boats, and I was like, it's like I needed this. So now we got friendship boats, which I don't even know where they are. Oh, they're over here. Oh gosh. Oh jeez. Yeah, mini roller coaster, but we just had a collision. We just had a collision. That happens every day. The in-game riverboat I still use for like, if I want to build like the Liberty Bell, I still use that. I can't hate on it because that's the only thing we got. Now we got Jungle Cruise boats though. That's a good thing. We're moving up in the world. What was the best one? Using the aquariums and saying that's living seas. Or if you make a SeaWorld park, you have like different aquariums with different animals. I still would do that. If we had every single thing from a Disney park in this game, I would probably not leave my house. Like, if the person who made the Rio Disneyland released their stuff, I probably would be fine. Same with I think it's the same person who made Disney Africa. Like, they did some awesome stuff that I wish was available. Like, I would put Pride Rock in Adventureland and have that greet people. Or be in the back because of sightline issues, but... Everyone used the little train tram for their parking lots for a while. Oh, everybody used this for Kilimanjaro. This one. Hop on, hop off trams using the ink. I never understood the elephant transport. I really never did. It's like, what? It's like, why is this in a park? Like, why? Yes, we do have that. And we have both Disneyland and Disney World. And also, Francis Coasters did a log flume thing. A custom log flume. Probably passed it, but find it. And it's actually really good. I think I actually told him he could put Splash Mountain logs on there and he'd be good. There's actually Disney World trains now. But look at this. This is the custom log flume. Like, I'm actually considering using this. I don't know where, but... I've dropped my phone. We even have the Harambe train. The Harambe train is actually really neat. That's like the most detailed train I've seen. Well, one of them. My animals are gonna drive me nuts. So now I got one. Hopefully it don't crash. Okay. So there's Busch Gardens. There's Disney World. There's Harambe. This is like one of the most detailed trains I've seen. Like, I think that's pretty neat. I did get some gondolas, but like someone did make the gondola system that's gonna be at Walt Disney World, but it wasn't in that CTR, which I was like, okay, this stinks. I thought there was more. I know there's one with like different ones. We have buses too, and cars. This is the bus. Oh, this is the car. Speedway. Oh, it's all of them. Okay. And it's Mazda. I was about to say. I didn't even know like all these cars were on here. And that's it. But we even got buses and everything. Monorail. Autobus. But these buses are pretty good too. Oh yeah, the in-game monorail, that was a mess. These buses are good. This one makes me think of the Disney buses because it's essentially like the same thing. Only 3 doors. Dasmate's Park Jet was pretty cool whenever it came out. Let's see. I think it's like Streamliner style for this one. I know my tracks are weird, probably because the path color. Then the old people mover. I always said this. Everybody use this for the people mover. Everyone use that for the people mover. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. Everyone had to use that as the people mover. And all those rides. Best monorail is, well, it's one of the best. It's this one. I like this one because of the capacity. I'm someone who goes for capacity, and that was my dog scaring me. Legit barks out of nowhere. Probably killed everybody's ears. Now they know you're a dachshund. Disney trams, Disney monorails, like, the only thing I have with this is it does not have a good capacity. It has 2 for this. For the monorails, it's like 2 or 4. Depending on the monorail you use. Bork. Like, this set's good, but again, capacity. Avengers. Like, he made the tracks and stuff, but he didn't release it. The Mark I. Tron. Like, I wish they were, if Imagineer Tom wanted to, I wish he would have did it to his monorails, because then that would be a high capacity and he could have did the doors. Mark IV, Mark V, Disneyland. Like, these are pretty good, but again, capacity is only 2. If it was more, then I'd be using them than the current monorail, but you can actually recolor. Actually look good. The thing I don't like is the blue window, because the windows are not like that bad. And he even did the Cars ones. The trams are actually really good. The trams are great. I just, again, wish he put these as transportation vehicles, not roller coasters, because you can't have people unload and stay on and blah 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 blah. But these are actually really good. Like, that's a quality tram to me. You even got some stalkers standing there. That's the face you have when you work for a park for the rest of your life. Okay. So, let me do that. Bork. Bork. He wants to bork again. We all know this. I heard him try to warm it up. Bork. So I have got to feed my animals. 3 dogs and a cat. But I will probably stream hopefully a little bit more this month, because I'm off this week. I had class yesterday, so I'm done for this week because tomorrow's July 4th. But I hope to stream again maybe this week, maybe once next week, who knows. If it's a text stream, I will denote it in the description. If it's a live chat, you will hear it. Okay? So that is it for today. Probably didn't do much in this park, but you know, when your dog starts borking, you gotta listen. Alright, so that is stream number whatever. Well, it's number 2 for today. Alright, have a great day, everyone. And if you're an American, happy 4th.